It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in. Heartbreaking news, of course, hit over the weekend. World mourning following the news that NBA legend, and he was an absolute legend, Kobe Bryant, was killed in what sounds like an horrific helicopter crash, along with his 13-year-old daughter and 7 other people on board. And we've been keeping up to date with the developing story, and this morning we are going to be paying tribute to the legend, one of the greatest, I think, basketball players of all time, to be quite honest, pro basketball player and former UCT star player, Siphumle, Simba, Qanya, now joins us to talk about how Kobe has inspired him, like so many sportsmen, but I think basketball players in particular. He kind of stood alone. So welcome and condolences, I think, to the whole basketball fraternity. What was the first thing, Simba, that went through your mind when... What position did you play?
I played point guard and shooting guard, actually, mainly shooting guard, same position as him.
Oh, man. So how did he inspire you?
Well, growing up, you know, we used to watch a lot of his games and his documentaries. He kind of got me through my high school career and some of my varsity career, and just trying to implement the mentality that he brought to the game into basketball on the court and obviously off the court as well.
The whole world is mourning. It's not just basketball players. You see every celebrity, every person in the street. But what is one thing, what is one legacy of Kobe Bryant that you will take from his life?
From his life, I'd say definitely his approach to life in general. That's why his aura transcended past the court. Who he was off the court and who he was on the court. I mean, the Mamba mentality came through because of, you know, 2 different personalities. So on the court, he'd handle business. Off the court, he'd have to handle business as Kobe Bryant.
and he just seemed like the sweetest human being as well. And I think that's what made that Black Mamba seem so much more devastating on court, is because he would, when it turned on, it turned on.
Definitely.
You know, he was a top scorer 2 years, but just an MVP just about every year that he played. Played at the Lakers for his entire career, as I understand. You can imagine the feeling, what that must be like in that space. How did he influence you from a player's perspective? Because when you developed your skill set, what did you take out of his ability on the court, aside from the mentality?
Aside from the mentality, I mean, everyone wanted to shoot like Kobe. I mean, you'd get people that never played basketball in their life. They'll be talking about Kobe and they're taking a free kick. That's on the soccer field. But, you know, everyone wanted to shoot like him. Everyone wanted to play like him and just, like, take over the game in moments that they had to take over, just like he did.
And Simba, how do you think the world over, and maybe let's speak specifically to basketball, the basketball fraternity should remember Kobe? What should the space of basketball be doing to carry his legacy?
Definitely never give up. Always have, you know, that drive to do what you want to do, whenever you want to do it, and leave behind a legacy. Leave something for the people coming up behind you. And just, you know, take it to the next level.
You know, when you talk about that legacy, I think the most heartbreaking part of this entire narrative for me is obviously Qanya, his 13-year-old daughter, also tragically killed in the accident as well. And he poured a lot of his energy into helping her develop as a basketball player. But they were on their way, as I understand it, to his academy, where he was pouring so much into that legacy and into following on that. How important is it from a sportsman's perspective to have that kind of voice, to have a mentor, to have someone who's played the game influencing you as a young player?
It definitely brings in a whole different perspective, because you understand the game only to a certain extent as a young player. And you look up to the others, obviously like your Kobe Bryant and your LeBron James. And you want to leave behind a name just like they left behind their name. And you want to sort of like definitely leave a legacy for your own name, but you want to channel it in such a way that they did it. And you just want to emulate that in your whole life.
And what a man to emulate. Of course, tragically killed along with the rest of the passengers in a helicopter that went down, as we said, en route to actually visit his academy. The Black Mamba will be mourned not just by the basketball playing fraternity, but the world at large. And hopefully you can take an opportunity to be inspired by him as well.